Hi again.
So y'all, we had to learn from our mistakes yet again, and we wanted to pass our newfound insights to you. We had an incident happen in one of the tents, and we didn't really understand what was happening until it was too late.
We're talking about root rot, and that's something that we've never experienced before in any of our previous grows until one of the more recent grows. We had some issues with one of the plants, and we weren't really sure what's going on. We're pretty sure that it was root rot is what we were suffering from. So how can you prevent it? How can you stop it from happening? And what are the signs that it might be happening to the plants in your grow?
Root rot is a condition in plants where the roots decay and die due to prolonged excess moisture and lack of oxygen.
RIP roots! As the roots become infected, they turn brown, mushy, and lose their ability to absorb water and nutrients, eventually leading to the death of your plant if left unchecked.
So what are some early signs that your plant could be experiencing root rot? Well, there are a few key things that you could notice.
First, you may notice yellowing leaves or leaves falling off prematurely. You may also notice wilting leaves with a stiff stem, usually an indicator of overwatering.
You could also experience stunted growth or stems that may look brown or black.
You may also notice a foul odor coming from your soil or medium. All these things are typically signs that you may be experiencing root rot.
So what causes it, and how can we prevent it?
Root rot can be caused by several factors, including overwatering. Excess water in the soil or medium can lead to waterlogging and basically drowning your root system in water. This deprives roots of oxygen and creates conditions for fungus growth.
Poor drainage. Soil that doesn't drain well retains too much moisture, contributing to root suffocation and decay. Cool temperatures. Cool, damp conditions can slow your plant's metabolism, making roots more susceptible to rot. So here are a few ways you can prevent it from happening in your garden.
First and foremost, proper watering with good drainage. You can also use some types of pots like air pots or other pots we've tried, but you want to make sure that your soil mix is good and aerated. You can try adding extra perlite or even the little clay pebbles or things like that to help with drainage. And I think in our particular instance, it's because we didn't have enough drainage. We used 100% pure cocoa with a very fine grind, and there was just not enough drainage there. And so everything was staying really moist. So using the proper pots, using proper watering, or using an auto watering system like the AC Infinity watering bases or the AutoPot setup, something like that can make sure that you don't overwater, and it will allow the plant to drink as much as it needs.
You can also monitor your humidity and maintain proper airflow. High humidity combined with poor circulation can contribute to root rot.
Oversized pots can lead to too much moisture in soil that's too easily compacted to be dense to not allow aeration to the root zone. It's going to also lead to root rot. So choosing the proper size pot or container for your grow, along with choosing your right medium, meaning your soil is not too dense, is going to help out tremendously in preventing root rot in your grow.
So periodically check your plants for root rot. Healthy roots should be firm and white, while rotting ones are brown and mushy and have a pretty nasty odor.
Phew. So what can you do if you do have root rot? Well, generally, if it's an autoflower, you're probably out of luck because there's not really much you can do because the plant's gonna flower on its own. If it is an early veg and you really wanna try and save it, and this typically works better with photo periods because they're a little bit more resilient. Maybe not if you're already into the flowering stages of your grow, but if you're still in veg heading into flower, what we recommend is transplanting that plant into fresh soil. So remove the plant from the pot, break up the roots and try and remove as much soil, wash the roots with some water, and then you actually want to trim away the dead roots and systems and then repot the plant. It should recover fully, especially photos, because they're a little bit more resilient to that type of stress. Autoflowers a little less to that type of stress. You might have some issues, you might have some herming, might not do so well with an auto, but you can definitely recover some photos if you do have that, and you'll be able to tell as soon as you start to break up that soil if you have really bad odors coming from it and you see a lot of brown decaying roots instead of happy fresh white roots, then you know you're having some issues with root rot. And just transplanting that into some fresh soil, maybe mix up your mix a little bit more airy, add some more perlite or other things to help aerate the soil, accommodate drainage and make sure that you're not going to overwater.
Yes.
It's really easy to tell. One other telltale sign is that if you're watering your plants and you notice that they're not really drying out, it just continues to stay wet, and you can feel that either by lifting your bag or your pot and feeling how heavy it is. If you let days go by and it's still extremely heavy and the water is not being absorbed through the plant, then you probably have some issues with root rot or poor drainage. So really heavy plants, it's not drying out as days go by, it's just staying extremely heavy and moist and dense. That's gonna lead to some root rot. So you really wanna either adjust your watering schedule, skip more days in between, let it dry out so you can feel that either by lifting the pot or just testing it. You can also look into things like soil moisture meters that you can pick up online. They're relatively cheap. They may not be the most accurate, but they can at least give you an indication of how moist it is down in the root zone. Or something like the Pulse Hub that we really love has the VWC meter, which you place directly in the pot, and it gives you live readings of the moisture content in your medium. So you can literally watch the dryback happen or not happen if you're experiencing root rot, or your soil or medium is too dense and it's not getting the proper drainage, or the plant's not absorbing the water and it's just staying moist. You'll be able to see that on your moisture meter live from the Pulse app or hub. So it gives you an indication real time is if it's drying out, if the plant's drinking up the water, if you're having issues with poor drainage or just not absorbing enough water through the plant. It's gonna cause issues. You're gonna get that root rot, stunted growth. It's gonna look unhealthy, dying leaves, and there's a lot to it. But mainly it's just watering and drainage.
Yes. Soil already contaminated with fungi or bacteria can infect healthy plants. So make sure that you are discarding your soil carefully.
Get it out of here. Some other things that we've been experimenting with that do help with proper watering techniques to make sure that you're not overwatering and potentially leading to root rot is things like the AC Infinity self-watering base, which uses a wicking system and allows the plant to pull water as it needs it. Or the AutoPot system that we just tried in our last grow worked phenomenal. In the same kind of situation, auto watering where it's only giving water to the plant as it needs it and drinks it. Those are really great alternative methods to hand watering, in which you can sometimes water too much accidentally and not even realize it, and that could lead to root rot. But I feel like the combination of those kind of self-watering things that allow the plant to drink on its own as it's needed really do help with the growth and prevent any kind of overwatering or oversaturation that can lead to root damage, root rot, and just stunted growth with your plants. We've really enjoyed those systems, and we're going to continue to use them and test them with
I love both of them.
Yeah, different kind of nutrients, organically, mineral based. We're going to keep trying them, and we actually have some featured in the upcoming grow alongs, Lord of the Lemons, Battle of the Breeders coming up, and some of the other ones. So make sure you guys check them out. They're going to be some really fun grows and coming soon.
So happy you guys could join us in today's discussion. Comment below if you guys have ever experienced root rot.
And let us know what you did or your tips and tricks for preventing root rot.
Don't forget to check us out on Instagram at I'm Highigan, where you can check out some dank nug shots and connect with the community.
Heck yeah, I just did a bunch of nug shots, 360 spins of all the Lord of Lemon strains that we just chopped down. Get some sneak peeks of those coming up with the Seed to Harvest video coming soon. And a special thanks to our Patreons. Thank you guys so much for supporting our content, and our sponsors like AC Infinity and Pulse Grow. If you guys are interested, we do have discount links in the description below. You can use our codes to save you some money on grow gear, and it helps support our channel and content so we can keep creating.
If you'd like to find out more about our Patreon, where you guys jump in the tents with us every single week, help us pick out what we're gonna grow, how we're gonna grow, and just have some fun. Get high again.
Yeah, it's always fun. We're always learning a lot, diving into the tents, asking you guys questions when we see issues, going back and forth, voting on what's coming up next,
It's
and
a fun
doing
party.
fun giveaways. It's always a blast with the fam. So if you guys would like to support, you can definitely check out the Patreon. Until then, smash that like, fam. We'll see you in the next one.
Thanks, guys.
I might have to let it drop. Let it drop.